Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, coming to you from the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice right here on Newport Road in New London. We check in with them every month as November is National Hospice Month. And I'm now joined by Caitlin Barden, who is the Chief Clinical Officer here at the VNA. Hello, Caitlin.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me and talking about, you oversee all the clinicals here, but talk about mostly for hospice care. Talk about the program here, because I think it is something that people don't really understand the value that the VNA brings for hospice care.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. As you mentioned, I do oversee, we have home care, hospice, and private duty services here. Hospice has a near and dear place in my heart. I was a hospice nurse in the field years ago, and coming back to it feels like, you know, the place to be. It's just such a gift we can give to patients. I think not everybody understands hospice care, and working with the team, we have a lot of team members from nursing to our medical provider, spiritual care, social work, and we really are able to help give people quality and peace and comfort in the care that we provide, and our staff really view it as a gift to be able to provide that care and be a part of people's families.
Sure.
For whatever time that might be, especially during Hospice Month in November, we like to get the word out that you don't have to wait for hospice care. And we also do palliative care here, and sometimes, you know, is it palliative, is it hospice, and we just say, call us, you know, reach out, talk to us. We can provide that expert guidance on where people are and what we have to offer, and our goal is always to try to be able to offer something.
Sure.
Whether it's a conversation and start to build that relationship with people.
Well, I think there are definitely people watching that think, okay, there's going to be an instance where today is the day you have to call for hospice care, but there's a lot of things that you can do, conversations with a partner, family member, and research, like you're saying, call the VNA and get the sense of what do you want your hospice care to look like, and that's stuff that you can walk them through.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we hear that sometimes from people is when is that time, or they know somebody where maybe their time on hospice was short and they, you know, maybe feel nervous or scared about that, and we want to be able to provide that support, whether it's reaching out, maybe having a conversation with people's children or loved ones, and providing those answers for people about what hospice care looks like, and what we're able to do. Again, our goal is during that time for comfort and quality, and what does living life mean for that person, rather than maybe sometimes people view it as or sadder time or negative time is, you know, what can that time be for people?
Well, and it's such an emotional time for not only the patient but the family as well, and some of those decisions are just so hard to make, so you can really guide them in order to do that, but also you become part of their family for a period of time too as the nurse, and that must be quite powerful on your end.
Yes, absolutely, and I think our staff talk a lot about that. There's a lot of storytelling from the families and from our staff, and being able to be a part of that, and really again celebrating that life and those joys and stories of the life that was lived.
Definitely.
And be able to provide, you know, that comfort. And our, you know, either our social worker or sometimes our medical providers are able to go out and have those conversations, really answer those questions that people have, and provide that comfort in knowing what's happening and what's going on. And so I think that can be powerful for people to be able to get those answers.
I love that. And another thing we've talked about in years past, but I always think is important to mention, is the hospice care doesn't end when the patient passes away. You offer a lot of support for the family after, and that must be just crucial to the work that you do. Yeah,
so we offer for every family 13 months of bereavement services afterwards, and so either our spiritual care or social work, whoever's made that really connection with the family is able to reach out, provide either a visit in person or a phone support, and that can be really great to have that additional support and know that that connection with the VNA doesn't end.
Absolutely. I would think as a family, you're obviously going through so much, and then all of a sudden it must feel like, well, you've been part of the family for so long, and you up and leave, and you're really saying that there's so much more that you can do for a period of time after to really help the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Caitlin, it's always so fascinating to talk to this department here at the VNA, because I think that it's something that's so scary scary to people, but it really should be something that you give some thought, do a little research, and have those conversations because you have such an amazing team.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, just reaching out and initiating those conversations is really what message we want to get out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlin Barden, the Chief Clinical Officer here at the VNA, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Abby.
When we come back, Laura James will be back on the Philbrook-Kerseni Bog with Tom Hoyt at Mascoma Bank. We'll be back after these messages from one of the businesses that underwrites your Yankee Chronicle on YCN, Your Local View.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the Country Press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.